Hey, what's up guys? Thanks for tuning in today. So I just got another video today talking about why you need more than pecs to take care of the job of hiding your man boobs or your gynecomastia. It's a huge thing. You can look anytime you look at how to get rid of man boobs, how to get rid of gynecomastia. First thing you see some guy doing some push-ups, or you see somebody maybe doing some bench press of some sort with some dumbbells. You see something like that. It happens every single time. And you know, I get it. It makes a lot of sense. You got man boobs and there's no muscle in there. So all you got is you got body fat and you got that enlarged gland just sitting there and just out there for everybody to see. So it's like, okay, let's go burn some fat in that area. Let's go start hitting. Let's go just hammer the pecs. Well, you know, yes, that's important, but there's some major issues with you doing what most guys do is just focusing on the pecs. And one of the big issues with that, when you look at me and you look at my body and from this frontal view, and you just look at my position right now, I'm purposely sitting up a little bit taller than normal, but you look and you can kind of see compared to here, where I'm going to completely change my position, and you can see where it just narrows me out. My arms are out in front of me, so everything's just kind of curled in a little bit more forward, just kind of trying to mask my body physique in a sense. So when I do that, when I'm focused strictly on these pecs, that actually facilitates that position I was just in. So I'm not just exaggerating that to exaggerate it, but there is part of that. Part of the muscle action for the pecs is to bring those shoulder blades forward and bring your arms forward as well. So when you are strengthening those muscles and you're focused strictly on those muscles, then you're going to make some changes to your posture, and those changes are going to create that narrow physique that is just going to accentuate your pecs. And if you've got gynecomastia, if you got man boobs, I don't know if you want to necessarily be to kind of put your pecs on a pedestal. They're already on a pedestal because they're like the centerpiece. So do you really want to accentuate that by, you know, bringing those arms forward and just making them just that much more pronounced? Muscle is important. Muscle's big time important, and I'm not saying skimp on it. Go ahead and blow those pecs up. Go for it. But when you focus on that, leaving those other muscle groups behind, that's when you're going to have issues again with that narrow physique that just again puts those pecs on display. And if you're a guy who, you know, has some higher development levels of gynecomastia, you could be setting yourself up a little bit. So just think about that. And while you're doing that, these are a couple different muscle groups that you're going to want to look into really building up, and I'll explain why for each of these muscle groups. The first of those is going to be your arms. Now I'm not going to front on this. I'm a leg guy. I'm all about legs. You know, I was a lineman in high school. Don't ask me why. I was like $180, but I was a lineman in high school, and I was just all legs. My upper body was pretty lame. It's still not fantastic, but I put a lot of work in on my upper bodies just to help catch things up a little bit. You know, I never had a great upper body, and that includes my arms. I have to tell myself to really work my arms when I go to the gym. I have to almost place it first, which is awkward for me. Otherwise, I won't do it. But arms are crucial when you think about it, even from a frontal view. When you're looking at me and you're thinking about your gynecomastia and like what we're getting a view of, and again, thinking about that narrow physique versus having kind of more of a wider physique. When you have bigger arms, you know, you're gonna give people more to look at. So whether it's a frontal view or a side view, especially like a side view, which is huge, you think about the pecs showing here, and then you got bigger arms, you got more biceps, you got more triceps. That's gonna give people more to look at. And instead of saying, you know, and they're not, you know, I hate to break it to you guys, but they're probably not looking at it quite as much as you think they are. But if you have that side view of somebody, you know, they see you and they just see some jacked arms, they see you got some pythons, the veiny forearms, like your arms look good, they're gonna notice the arms. They're not gonna be like, oh man, look at those, you know, tickle bitties there. No, they're not gonna do that. They're gonna notice your arms. That's more than likely what's gonna happen. So you definitely want to focus on that. The forearms and biceps, triceps, get some working on those. I don't even know if I really need to tell you that, but it's just something to consider and think about when you're trying to develop this physique that's going to help mask the gynecomastia. So the next muscle group that I would definitely focus on are the deltoids. Another muscle group that I'm still lagging behind in, but big time important, because again, it's going to help get away from that narrow physique that focuses on the chest. We're going to get these deltoids in action along with the arms to, especially from a frontal view, to widen things out. We're going to take the focus away from here and just broaden it, giving people more to look at instead of just focusing here. Nice wide delts really do make a difference in your physique, and it'll give you that nice kind of a V-taper type of look, that bodybuilder type of look that people like to have. I'm not really a narrow waist kind of guy, but some wide shoulders can make a world of a difference. Number 3, the last one that you really want to focus on for now that I highly recommend is getting those lats engaged. Your lats are these cape-like muscles on the side of your body, on your side. They run all the way down to your hip, from your shoulder all the way down to your hip. Those muscles are critical to help give you some width, and again create that V-taper, giving people more to look at, keeping those arms out. It really just fills you out when you have some nice solid lats, you know. And you don't want to have like the imaginary lat syndrome where you're walking around like this just because you've seen some other guy do it. Once you start working those lats, once you start building up those arms and shoulders, it's gonna happen. You just got to give it some time and actually continue to work at it and build those muscles up. None of this is something that's going to happen overnight. But again, if you're a guy who, you know surgery is probably not going to be in your future, and or be anytime soon at least, you know that this is going to be an opportunity for you. And instead of just hammering those pecs day in, day out, pecs, you can start working on some of these other muscle groups and understand how they can be incorporated into that physique that you're trying to build, and help you again just take the focus away from the centerpiece of the pecs. So guys, I appreciate you checking out my video today. Again, head to livingwithgino.com, again, I'll post a link at the bottom so you can get to the website and check out some other posts that I have on there about exercises and some of these things that I talk about, dealing with either with posture and building muscle, so that you can get the physique you're looking for.